Yo, what's going on? I'm back. Took a week off last week because I've been, working so hard, putting out one a week for 4 straight weeks. It's incredibly difficult. So I decided to take a week off, regroup, come back. I was excuse me. I ate chocolate chip banana pancakes for a dessert. That's how I roll. That's how I roll now. I'm making delicious dessert breakfast things for. I don't actually. I'm curious if other people use syrup for syrup, syrup, syrup. With their pancakes. People call me weird because I don't use syrup with my syrup. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know how to say it. With my pancakes, or really my waffles, I usually just eat things plain. Like I don't use cream cheese on a bagel. I don't toast it. Nothing like that. I don't put milk in my cereal for the most part. There's like Cocoa Puffs. I feel like Cocoa Puffs need a little a drizzle. I just put a little drizzle on it. But for the most part, it's like it was given to you a certain way, and I think that's how you should eat it. That's just me. I don't think anybody else agrees with me, but I eat a lot of things as is. Not plain, but as is. I don't give in to peer pressure from the others trying to get me to completely change the flavor profile of the food that I'm eating. One thing I do definitely give in to peer pressure on was soap. I used bar soap for the longest time, and like up until I don't know, like 2016 or so, I was just using bar soap. Just go to Irish Spring or whatever it's called. Just go get a box of them. There's like 20 in there or whatever, and you just, every time you need one, you just grab one, use it. It's great. It's fine. And then I moved in with my first roommate, and she like immediately called me out on it. She's like, "Why do you use bar soap?" I'm like, "Cause it's soap. I use it to clean my body." She goes, "Yeah, but don't use bar soap." I was like, "It's soap." She goes, "It's dirty." I was like, "It's soap." And then she's like, "Just don't do that anymore. Just get body wash." And I was like, "All right." And that's it. That's the end of the story. I just started buying body wash. Yeah, I don't regret it. I've used it to this day. Literally, that actually happened. That was like 7 years ago, and I just stopped using bar soap just because somebody told me to. But it was I don't know. People say it's dirty, but like it is. It's soap, right? And like I don't know. I get like maybe stuff grows on it. Like that sounds kind of gross now. Now I'm saying it. It will grow on it like and it's drying or whatever. But you're like, I don't know. You wash it first, right? You get it wet. You get it all lubed up, and then you use it. But I don't understand it. I don't know if I should go back to bar soap just out of protest, because it feels like most people stopped using it. So like we went for I don't know however many years soap was around for, and then they just they decided they got something better, and started using it. I like the foam. That foam one. I don't like when it comes out like what's it called? the aftershave stuff, and it kind of comes out like that, and you have to like work it in, or just I guess like hand soap, where you have to like work it in to make it all sudsy. Like it comes out sudsy. But yeah, man, I don't know why that was, but anyway, that's now if you're curious of what kind of soap I use, that's the kind of soap I use. So yeah, man, what is going on? Oh yeah. I thought of something. I wanted to talk about. Tried to come semi-prepared this time. So I saw the dude from that '70s show, Danny Masterson, got whatever it was, like 30 years to life in prison, some along those lines. Which, good riddance. I didn't follow the case at all, but if he's guilty, the court found him guilty, and there was overwhelming evidence, then see it. But what I was seeing, like just online, actually specifically, another admission, another thing of me not giving in, I still use Yahoo quite often, probably more often than I should, but whatever. But I'll go, because I'm on my computer a lot still, and just checking my Yahoo email, which again, it still works, man. The Yahoo email, it works. Someone sends you something, and it comes to your email, and you see it, and you respond to it, and it works just like Gmail does. I get that there's other perks to Gmail, but they let you put in, you can open up a Google Drive with a Yahoo account. So they've kind of just incorporated it, so I don't know why. The only thing that's silly about it is it's at yahoo.com. So, you tell people that, and people are like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? And what's wrong with me is I have other things to do with my life than move everything that's a Yahoo email over to a Gmail account. I just, sorry, I'm from the internet era of 2004, so anyway, what else? What was I talking about? But I'm seeing the news article of Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis on, I guess they had written a letter just as a character letter. I don't know what they're called, but they wrote that about Danny Masterson, and everybody lost their shit on Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, and I kind of understand why, because but at the same time, if you are, the letter should, if you're getting mad at Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis for writing a character letter for Danny Masterson, then you need to be upset at everybody that was friends with Danny Masterson all the way up until this point. Because they wrote a letter doesn't mean that they are somehow justifying any sort of behavior. Because I actually went and read through the letter. I was like, what? They're calling this woman a liar. They, whatever. And they don't. They essentially just, they wrote a letter saying hey, he's my friend. He was always a stand-up person while I knew him, this and that, and that was basically the kind of gist of the letters. And what confuses me about that is, if people, is that why people are getting upset? Is because they said that to them he was a good person, and to the people around him he was a good person. It's well, I would hope that he was, because if he wasn't, then why did you maintain a friendship with him from whenever the show started, 2000 or whatever, the last I don't know, 20, 25 years, however long the show was on, however long they knew each other. Like, it, it doesn't make any sense to me that you would now be upset at them because they wrote a letter saying, like, hey, he was a good, like, he's always been a good friend to me. Like, of course, like, that's what you would expect. Like, what you should be angry at is if Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis knew, like, if you are friends with somebody, or I'm speaking for myself. If I am friends with somebody, I am speaking. I would. No, I'm not speaking. I would have an expectation of them as a friend that they're not going to be a rapist. If I thought they were going to be a rapist, and I still was friends with them, that's the problem. That's the problem. It's not. It's not the fact that, like, he. What am I trying to say? He. Sorry. Check some. It's not like that you think, like, hey, no, she's lying, he's a good person. It's like, that's wrong, yes. But having him, like, I don't know, like, if you're friends with somebody that you think is a rapist, I guess, it's just like, that's a them problem, for sure, but it's also a you problem. Like, that's why I'm saying that if you're going to get mad at Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis for that whole thing, for having, like, a character letter for him, then you should actually just be mad at everybody that knew Danny Masterson that ever associated themselves with him. Unless, of course, you, like, think that it's okay to be friends with somebody that you think is capable of forcibly raping a woman, and raping multiple women. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the actual details of the case. But I don't know. I think it's just weird that they got attacked, and then Ashton Kutcher had to step down from. Then his Pancake's really fighting back now. He stepped down from a thing that helped. Man, what was it? I think it's like girls that get, like, or maybe all, like, maybe young boys too. I don't know, but that get abducted and sold into like sex slavery, I believe. I think, and he has to step down from that. So it's like, you're telling me all of that good work that he did is erased because he wrote a letter because he had a friend who he was under the perception of was a good person. So now all your good work is erased. Now you have to step down. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all. But that's what that's what the internet does. That's what people do. People like to. People like to talk. And it's always like. And it's just always bullshit because people have a much different persona online than they do in real life. Like when you had the during the George Floyd protests, when you had all of those white people, and just like when that was like when. I mean, race is always a big, it's like a hot button topic, like pretty much always, but like, just all these white people, like, just that they're posting their black squares and they're trying to hide behind their subtle racism that they've been, doing their whole fucking lives. It's. What cracks me up is when it comes to the like when it comes to the N-word, and people, like, you have white people, like, and you can find this everywhere online, We can find a lot of things online, but on both sides. But you have a lot of white people start getting like real nervous, seeming like they're trying to hide something. You know, like I would never say that. I would. Oh my God. Oh, did somebody say that? Why did you know someone said it? I didn't. Did you know someone? Because I've never said it. I've only ever said the N word. I've never even. Don't even know how that would sound. I don't even know how that would sound if I say it. Like, and just trying to, like, it's just white people gaslighting black people. And just gaslighting, trying everybody, I guess. But, like, just, you know, pretending that it's something that they've never said before. It's fucking insane. Because, like, I go to hip-hop shows in the Boston area. A lot of the people that are going to those shows are white. A lot of the performers that I'm going to see are black. And when everyone's singing along to the songs, you know, out of the 50 black people that are there, I'm hearing like 1,000 voices with certain words that come up. But it's like, and then you know, they go home and they're like, I would never say it under any circumstances. Nope, not me. Nope. But I have obvious news is, at least in the circle of white kids that liked hanging out, you know, they liked chilling with their other white friends, and they liked listening to rap and like all this shit, what I grew up, like what I grew up in and stuff, and just coming in contact with other people similar to me. People want to pretend like they've never said it before, and it's like, I'm pretty sure I've heard everyone say it before. It's like, it's not said like it's being 15 years old and thinking you're cool. It's not saying it to with intent to hurt anybody. It doesn't make it right. But you don't, like I've probably heard, outside of like the concert setting and the online setting, like any, you know, just throwing a number out without actually knowing a number, of like white people in my life, anywhere between 50 and 100 of them, like I've heard that come out of, and that's probably such a low number too. I don't know, but like, of people that I've heard, of white people that I've heard say the N-word. And again, out of all of that, like, maybe you can count on one hand the amount of times that it's been used to hurt, like, with, like, really with bad intent. Like, I have heard it there, too. I saw one guy absolutely get his ass kicked for it. Outside of it was awesome. It was outside of a bar. It was this Irish kid. And he, like, left the bar, and then he said it to the bouncers, and then the bouncers just beat the shit out of him in the middle of the street. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's like I've heard, maybe, like I said, and count on one hand the amount of times I've heard a white person say the N-word in a negative manner. Like, but with bad intent, not trying to be cool, not trying to do, like, the most often way I've heard it is that Morgan Wallen video where, like, he's, like, I think they caught him on, like, a Ring camera. He was, like, dropping his friend off, and he was telling his, like, girlfriend or whatever, or whoever it was, to, like, take care of him. But he said, goes, take care of them, or take care of that. And it's, like, it's always used in, like, in that context when I've heard it. But yeah, the other times, like, you know, I've heard it definitely used in a way meant to hurt. But I've also heard a lot more racism without the N-word being used. Like, you don't need to say the N-word to be insanely racist. Like, the worst shit that I've heard about black people have been without saying the N-word. They think because they're not saying it, then it's fine. But they'll say some like truly ignorant shit. But yeah, man, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, it's like I said, it's white people gaslighting black people, pretending that they've never uttered the word, not once. And then they get in their car and they like put on Kevin Gates. It's like, oh, I wonder what's going on in that car. I also hear like, again, not even, what's it called? It's not like overt racism. It's like this like subliminal racisms that you hear too. You catch those of like people excusing certain behavior as like that kind of I'll say it through like a David Lucas joke. I don't know if anyone knows who that is, but he's a comic. He's a black comic, but he was making fun of this white woman in the audience, and he was just talking. I think he was comparing LA and I don't know what is it, somewhere else, and how like one, I don't even know which one, but one was much worse than the other, and then like the white woman was like defending the place that was like predominantly black, and he goes they can't do any better because they don't know any better. And that is like such a sentiment among, it's like that, and not to get like political, but this is just kind of the way the lines go. But it's like that white liberal racism, that it's like weirdly, it's like racist in a weird way. It's like it's in an I feel bad for you way. And I was like, damn, dude, that might be. I don't know if it's worse, but it might be just about the same as just being regular racist. But that's my thoughts on that's the thoughts on race from a white guy. That's what people need more of, is a white guy talking about racism. I don't know, I just kind of ranted for a while, so I don't know. I don't know where I go from here. Oh man, starting to sweat a little bit. Luckily, I don't need the AC anymore. The weather's starting to turn up here in the Northeast, which I'm kind of grateful for. It's nice to have like the heat just taken out of the day, because I don't know, it's just like, it's a good change of pace. I like when things are, there's a constant rotation, except for the winter blows. But I like when there's a constant just rotation where you can get to kind of just experience your world in a different manner. Like, if it was just one thing all year, it would really suck. Like, I think it helps kind of break up the year, so you're not just like, in heat all year. Like, I don't know if Arizona's hot for 365, but it seems like it is. And like, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem pleasing at all to just like have one thing all year. And I could get down on some like really hot days, but it's one of those things that if you're in like, and actually I don't know if I may have talked about this already. Damn it, I forgot. I can't remember. So I'll try not to repeat myself too much on this if I did. But if it, like, when it was you were younger, when it was like a really hot day, it was nice because you got to go to beach, alright, we get to go to the beach because coastal. But, or, cousin had a pool, go to the pool, hang out. But now, a really hot day just means that you have to just work, but it's also really hot. So it's not like as meaningful anymore. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't handle that like all year long one season bullshit, Unless it was San Diego, I guess, because San Diego, they have like what's considered the best weather in the world, right? Or I mean, in America, I guess, or most, 70, at least for me, 70 degrees ish, most of the year, mostly sunny. Nice. That is very, very nice. Yeah, I'm glad it's just, bring back the gray shirts for a little while, before even though I'm sweating anyway. But gray's hard to wear. So for a sweater like myself, it's a hard color to wear because then it just goes. I need to start wearing like bandages. Just start wrapping my shoulders in bandages so like it sweats out into that and not into the shirt. Or wear a shirt underneath my shirt so I can wear gray shirts. Or I just stop wearing gray shirts, I guess. That's why I don't really wear during the when I do the reaction channel stuff, because I've run into it several times now where I just like end up with crazy pit stains, and I'm like, oh, that's unsightly. That's unsightly. I don't want to do that anymore. I need to. I go through different phases with the clothes that I wear. Like there's sometimes like I'll like try to get something that looks nice, like get something with a little bit of style. And like, just try to look a little fresh to death, And then, but most of the time, I'm like, I'll go to Target, the Goodfellow brand, black t-shirts, white t-shirts. I'd grab those, and then maybe I'll go over to like the other section that's just like a bunch of different colored shirts, and then I'll grab like a few different colors or whatever, and that's it. That's my wardrobe for a year, 6 months to a year. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me grab a flannel. I wore a flannel for a season. Yeah, flannels they're good for. Flannels are great for October. You throw it on because they're kind of warm. You can wear a t-shirt underneath, but you get some flexibility with it. You can tie it around your waist and pretend that you're Kurt Cobain. But it's like a good, very versatile. It's a very versatile piece of clothing. I don't really wear them too much, but I bought two of them, and I'm like, this is great. This is great. As you enter the winter, it's like just in time. It's like last thing you can do before seasonal depression kicks in. Seasonal depression is for real skis. You don't even, like, for myself, I don't even understand that I'm feeling worse until, like, we'll go from just about now, like we're just about getting into October now, and like slowly, like it's like the frog in boiling water, or I guess kind of the opposite in a way. I don't know which way it goes in this analogy, but it's like you slowly start getting more and more depressed, and you hit like January and February, and you don't even realize it, but you just like, you don't even realize that you're feeling bad, because, and you would never know, or at least I would never know that I'm feeling bad, and then like all of a sudden, you have like a random ass day in March, where after being 30 degrees for 2.5 months, it's like 54 and sunny, and the all like you can hear the snow melting outside, and the sky's blue and everything, and you walk out and you're like, wow, oh my god, I haven't felt like this. When's the last time I felt like this? I feel amazing right now. And then you realize that it's like, oh my god, I've been feeling like trash for the last 3 months. Like, damn, dude, that sucks. That sucks because I know we're gonna, you know, hit like 2-3 more weeks of winter weather, and I'm gonna start feeling like worse than I was before. It's kind of weird, man, but yeah, like the seasonal depression thing. It does suck. Depression in general sucks. We've talked about that. I've had some strange like bits of depression, and I'd actually be interested if anybody makes it this far in to know if anybody else has had this feeling before. Have you ever wanted attention from somebody so bad that you kind of wished something bad would happen to you? Yeah. Yeah, it be like that sometimes. Yeah. And I don't know, hopefully that's a normal thing. Like not saying like you're going to do anything bad or anything, but you're like, damn, if I just like got hit by a truck or something and I had to go to the hospital, maybe that would get their attention. It's fucked up. It's like it's a weird way to think. I hope I'm not alone in that thought process. Like, I'm good now, but I'm just thinking of, I was, going back to that seasonal depression I'm talking about, like, and it's not even really the seasonal depression, just depression in general. Like, you ever hit a low point where you're just like, again, like, it's almost like, I'm too much of a bitch to hurt myself. But if I got hurt, hell yeah, dude, that would be fucking tight. But it's weird. It's when I'm talking about like getting hurt with the purposes of getting somebody to notice. I'm talking about like I think it's weird. It's like I think I would be missed. So I want them to taste it. It's not the right way to think at all. And like, if you do think that way, then you should find help. But I guess if you also think that way, then know that you're not alone. Because nothing worse than feeling alone in something. Because I definitely went through that when I was younger. I think everybody does. When they, like, if you're going through a breakup, like when I was 23, 10 years ago now. Woof. And I was going through a breakup, and I had people around me telling me that they understood my feeling. And I'm like, no, no. My love, you don't know how much that I loved her. Like, the way that I loved her is so much different than the way you could have loved your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You won't understand my feelings. When the reality is, it's like, yes, no, you're fucking stupid. Like, people understand. People understand. Somebody is as in love with somebody else as you are with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. So when you go through a breakup and that person is gone, and you have somebody trying to give you advice, and it comes from a place of understanding, it's very difficult, but you need to listen to that person. Well, provided it's I guess you still need to put your is this good advice, is this bad advice meter on. But at least when someone has an ear for you, or like wants to give you something for your peace of mind, it's good to listen, even if it's not good advice, or whatever it is. Like, it's good to listen, because like I said, everybody thinks that what they're going through is worse than what other people are going through. And it's like, that's only because it's happening to you. It's not happening to somebody else. So it's worse. But it's as bad as what's happening to that person, and what happened to this person, and it's going to happen to that person. So, I don't know, I'm kind of fucking all over the place right now. I didn't intend for this to to get dark, but if I was getting damn near, when I was 23, the point of doing something very, 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 very stupid. Unaliving, I believe, is the YouTube term. And thinking back on it now, I'm like, that would have been the dumbest fucking thing ever, dude. Because that person that is so important to you in your life, and again, I'm speaking, of course, I'm speaking in terms of relationships here. There's a lot of different ways people can, feel that they want to do something really, really, really stupid. But it's like, thinking back on my ex from 10 years ago, it's like, it's becoming like such a faint memory. And it's like, damn, dude, you almost did that. You almost did the deed over something that 10 years later is a faint memory. So, it's always good to let time pass. Live for the next day. Find the next thing to look forward to. I remember when I was going through this, and again, I apologize because I know I've talked about depression. I don't know if I've said this already, so if you're someone that has watched all of these and I'm repeating myself, I apologize. But I remember trying to little landmarks make it to this day, make it to the land. I would have it was when Mad Men was on, and I was like, let's just. It's the series finale of Mad Men this season. Just gotta make it to the end of Mad Men, dude. Just make it to the end of Mad Men. And then, that happens. You're like, okay, I just gotta get to whatever. Just get to Christmas. Get to whatever the next, thing was. In a Lupe Fiasco song, Beautiful Lasers, he perfectly says it where he's talking about the trying to find little things to keep yourself going. Where you take the simplest things. You really like music. You really love simplest things. You really like music. You really I forget the whole. You really like music. You really like read and love. I don't know, whatever it was, but like you just try to find that little thing. All you need is really something small to keep yourself to the next day. Just and then if you pack those together, all of a sudden it's like you're 200 days later, and whether you're grieving a loss of somebody, a breakup, you lost your job and you think it's the end of the world, you are sober but you relapsed, whatever the case is of whatever brought you into that point. You find that one little thing, read a book, let me finish this book. Like that, you need goals. You need to set goals. Because if you wake up with nothing but grief, that might be the thing. But if you wake up and you're like, damn, dude, I gotta finish this book. Oh, fucking whoever, so-and-so has a new album coming out. I want to check out that album. Oh, they're going on tour. I need to see their tour first. And then you're like, oh, Martin Scorsese's got a new movie coming out. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me try to learn guitar. I want to learn guitar. And then you find things. You gotta find things to plug in. And then all of a sudden you find this separation. You're able to get yourself out of that spot. But it just happens one day at a time. You gotta get through. And then, again, there's people that have big problems that need far bigger help than maybe what I am saying can provide. But for a lot of us, you need goals. Yeah, I don't know, man. That was, again, I apologize. I didn't mean to get dark, but I did. So, yeah, that's it. See ya.